Yeah, that's one of his too. That's
Yeah, he
okay.
can't be moving around.
Armies out there.
All the armies out there.
That be me.
Look at that.
That be me.
Wow. That is what we were trying to describe to them that night at Bangtan. When I was like, guys, at the end when he was like to all the armies out there and that stuff, they planned that for him to say to all the armies out there, but then when they just shot every single one of them. That's our soul.
Yeah, it was so sad.
We were dead, and then we were to all the armies out there, and then we just resurrected.
It was so sad.
Oh my God, we just resurrected. It was like we slayed you. All right.
Hi guys. Do you know Army?
Do you know Army?
Do you know Army?
Do you know Army?
All right, welcome back to another WWATV, guys. Welcome back. We are so happy to see you guys every single time we come on. We're excited.
Absolutely.
We always get pumped up for this.
And today we also have a guest speaker,
Oh,
Mr. RJ right here.
oh my
He's
goodness.
like this all.
If you're curious about this beautiful RJ, I don't know if it will have been uploaded already or if it's going to be uploaded next, but we filmed a BT21 haul video from the store BT Cosmetics, so keep an eye out for that. We'll show you all the beautiful stuff that we got. But today, we are going to be discussing our thoughts and feelings, so many feelings about the one concert.
We watched some of it, and we're kind of distracted, so bear with
Yeah,
us.
bear with us. We're trying to get our
Bearings.
emotions intact. So, yeah, so let's start off by saying we understand that some viewers may not have seen the concert on 2 weekends ago, or and then you caught the highlights that armies were able to put up, and we know they did, and we know a lot of it was taken down.
Good looking out, Army.
We know a lot of it was put right
Good looking
back
out,
down.
Army.
They are always there for us.
If you are Army, you know that no matter what happens, as soon as something is aired, as soon as something is put out into the universe, that all armies are going to take care of other armies and make sure it gets put out there for all viewing
Much
pleasure.
appreciated.
Yeah. So spoiler alert if you haven't even seen the highlights.
So yeah, exactly. If you have not even seen the highlights. So first things first, we purchased and watched and viewed the first night of the concert. So it was live for us here in the States the morning of. We decided to watch the replay of it that night because that was
It was all easier.
it was
for us
easier
to
for us to watch it that
watch the
night
replay.
together. So we watched the replay, and then we were just so blown away. We had no idea it was going to be that. We knew it was going to be great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everything is
We
great.
didn't know
from
it's
them.
gonna be that
But
great.
we had no
Yeah,
idea,
yeah.
and we were floored. And before it was even over, we were all looking at each other like somebody pull out their phone because we're purchasing
Guys,
the next night.
We're purchasing day
literally
2.
floored. Literally floored.
We
They
are.
threw it out the window.
To give you some context, they've been to 2 concerts, 3, right?
Three.
3 concerts. I've been to 1, and we all still agree that was the best concert
They have
ever
ever put
seen.
on.
And it was virtual. Like that's how amazing it
That's
was.
how amazing it was.
And while we encourage you to watch the highlight, if it comes out on Blu-ray, we highly encourage you to watch the whole thing because they tied in the entire experience together so well.
It was like an actual concert, I felt
It
like.
It's so different to just come in at a certain part or something because even the VCRs were
Oh
beautiful.
my
Yeah,
goodness.
it was VCRs
It was
that we
VCR?
had never experienced before. They took
Right.
it. They took it to another level.
They were not filler.
Yeah.
No,
So it's
they told a story.
Yeah.
They told a story.
Yeah, so it's amazing to say that. If you've ever had the concert experience, it's something unlike you've never experienced before. You're on a high and a euphoria that you have never experienced before, and you really can't convey to somebody. But to actually say by the end of a concert, a virtual concert, to say this is absolutely the best concert experience I've ever had, and it's virtual, that was just mind blowing.
It
And it's
was.
something you can't properly conveyed to the next individual. So we have a group beyond us that is our Bangtan family, and I think we mentioned this before. And to try and convey to those individuals in our group that was not able to actually experience that on the concert nights, on the concert days, and say, hey guys, I know you're watching the highlights, but to actually have experienced that on the concert day, to experience the actual what am I trying to say? The actual
experience.
The actual experience of it, and not just the highlights.
So
it was
remember,
hard to convey to them.
I compared it to like trying to explain to non-Army the relationship between Army and BTS.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
almost like that difficult to
You
try to
have to
explain.
be in it. You have to be
You
there.
have to be in it.
So let's start from the beginning.
Yeah. What I wanted to say something more on what you just said, and what she's trying. Elaborate on what you said. Any Army that has ever had non-K-pop friends or non-Army friends that just don't understand your relationship with BTS, it's that. When you're like, but you don't understand, but you don't understand, but you don't understand. It's that. You feel like it's a futile battle. And that's what it was.
Because they always end up thinking you're crazy or delusional.
It's one of those things you can't understand unless you experience.
You can't even blame them because we do sound crazy and delusional.
We do on the
We have
outside.
that voice.
We
Yes,
absolutely do.
yes.
And I didn't
fully aware.
realize that until the very first time I tried to explain it, and how you could literally see them looking at me like, poor girl,
Yeah, mid-conversation, you're going,
poor thing.
She's
why am I
gone. She's
continuing?
too far gone.
Why am I continuing to try
She
to
really
explain
thinks
myself?
those boys like her. Poor thing.
Yeah. So yeah, and that's how it was trying to explain that concert experience that weekend. So needless to say, we purchased the second day, and then Monday, when we realized Monday, in our group chat, that because we were like, oh my goodness, when we put the concert up, we're gonna watch it over and over,
like the Bang Bang Con.
like the Bang Bang Con.
With Bang Bang Con, once you purchase it, you can rewatch it over and over
We-
again. We thought it was
yeah.
gonna be the same thing.
Once we put the footage up, we own it, and we can watch it as much as we want. And we thought it was gonna be the same thing, but then come Monday, and the realization hit that no, this is a one-hitter quitter.
It was like going to a concert and not being able to see it again.
And not being able to see it again, but then you were able to see it again through the highlights and the fan cam.
Right.
But with this,
There was no fan cam
there was
at
no
all.
fan cam, and then the realization of no, it's done and gone. It's one and done.
I will say I do wish that they were a little clearer in their promotions. Not only that it was not going to be, replayable
Yes.
afterwards, they should have made that clear, and they should have also, for the rest of Army who felt like it wasn't necessary to buy the tickets, I feel like they should have been clearer of, guys, we're calling this a one concert, but it is all the performances we were going to do on this tour.
Yeah,
Like they should
yes.
have
They
have
need to
clarified
explain
this
it.
because even we bought it because we just watch
We
everything
support,
they put
yeah.
out, but we had no idea. We had no idea what was in store for
We
us.
had no idea that if you're like us, we prepared for the concert tour this year.
Yeah.
And then the pandemic hit, and our little hearts broke, just like everybody else. Especially K-Army, who they got their refunded tickets, and I'm sure that was devastating to them because the first thing we thought was, oh my God, we don't want refunded tickets.
We have not gone to refunds yet. We don't plan to.
We don't plan to.
In other words, we are still ticket holders of our concert that we bought better part of 12,000 years ago.
Yeah.
And they haven't officially canceled it, which would have automatically given us back our refund.
Which means the next live concert we're gonna still have those
we
tickets.
will hopefully we will still be able to use the tickets that we have for them. We got gold and silver tickets, y'all.
Yeah, so we have that, and but what we did not realize when we purchased the concert, the virtual concert, was that the concert tour that we missed out on this year was going to be that virtual concert. We did not fully realize that until we were actually watching the virtual concert, and our president mentioned it. We did not fully realize that, and then when we realized it, we were like, we are so glad we actually did purchase this.
So something that I'm really thankful for that we didn't have the last couple of times they did an online thing. I'm not a night person, as you guys will see on our other videos. I'm not a night person, and I really hate having to stay up so late. It takes away part of the enjoyment for me. So I love, and waking up super early. So I love that they allowed. It was a pre showing of it, and then it was the recorded, the replay. at a decent time for people who were on the other side of the planet.
Yeah.
And I was so appreciative of it. So I was able to have the energy and enjoy it to the level that I want to enjoy it.
Yeah, that was great for this time.
Right. I hope they
But
keep
we have a
doing
lot of thoughts. So like you said before, let's start at the beginning.
beginning.
So it started in this huge
I think it
space.
was a stadium.
They
Was it a
created a
stadium?
set that was like a stadium.
It
So
was
they took the
huge.
whole floor of the stadium, I think, and then that entire ground area that would be our floor seats, that entire area was made into their stage.
And they started like from the outside of that, and then they just worked their way right on in.
Which is what that contract deserved.
They worked their way right on.
Now that makes me wonder. I don't know if they would have done this in an actual stadium, but what if they did start in one of the doors and came through the
The
crowd?
audience that came through the
I
crowd.
wonder if they had planned to do that originally.
Wow. I think they had so many plans for
So many
this
plans.
which is why it devastated them so much.
that it was.
And they've mentioned this throughout the year. They had so many plans for us this year, and that's where the devastation came in when they were told we are going to have to cancel. We're going to have to push back. We're going to have to push back. We're going to have to just nix it all
So
together.
we definitely said when we saw the whole concert that like if we had seen any of this in person,
we would
We'd
have
have
died.
died.
oh, I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
And this was gonna be back to back because we had sound check for the first day and the second day, so that would have been like 4 concerts at a time, back to back. We'd have
I don't think we
died.
would have survived.
We'd have died.
We would have. I mean,
But knowing now,
and it would have got. I mean.
I know, like even imagining it,
Yeah.
like there's no words. Like we're short circuiting right now.
Shit would
And
have
what's
got. I mean,
so
it would have got real.
I mean, we would have had
Incredible.
thousands of fans.
They kept. I
Jeez.
thoroughly enjoyed the fact that they kept taking us back and then bringing us forward, taking us back and then bringing us forward to their older songs, performed as full-grown into their own men, and then taking us forward to their most recent songs. That was
This
very
is
enjoyable.
absolutely a concert for ARMY.
Yeah.
And this was absolutely a concert for their time because and let me tell you what I mean about that. So let's get into the meat and potatoes of it and my opinion on what I took my takeaway from it.
No. Don't give us your
Oh.
takeaway from it. Let's. I think that's what we should put at the end. Let's talk about each individual solo
Yes, let's
performance.
walk. We're going through the
So
concert.
let me give
Yeah.
you my takeaway from say who do we start with?
Let's start with Jungles.
Okay, with Youngi's performance. So from let me do a contrast between day 1 and day 2. Day 1 of Youngi's performance, I was blown away. I really enjoyed it. But
What did he perform?
day 2, his single, his shadow.
Shadow.
Yeah.
I just want to let
Yes,
you
there you go.
know.
His shadow,
They didn't see
his
it.
solo performance. He did Shadow, which was
It was
truly
an
a
art.
treat.
It really
all
mirrored
of
the
their-
music video.
It did. It mirrored the music video. a lot.
It truly did, and all of. I say all of theirs did, but some of theirs was
have
for the
music
first
video.
time.
Yeah.
So his mirrored his music video, and it was a treat. But in contrast to the second night, I really felt like the second night he was more comfortable and more in his element. It's like he had his mojo working the
What's
second
that you
night.
say to ARMY about the first day of the concert and second?
Yeah, and if you've ever experienced concert experience for yourself, if you've experienced it more than once, which we have, we experienced in LA, which was their first time in the States, as in the touring experience, and then we experienced it later on in Dallas. And they become more relaxed and get more into their mojo. From the first go round to the second go round to the third go round, so as they move from state to state. And I kind of experienced this with this one concert. So the day 1 compared to day 2, and Youngi's performance on day 1, and compared to day 2, not only did his hairstyle change, but his mojo changed.
And
For me,
his outfit changed.
his demeanor changed and his performance changed, not only with his solo performance, but with his group performance with his brothers, but that solo performance for sure. My takeaway from that was I watched that transition. He seemed way more comfortable and way more into that with that solo performance.
Y'all, let me tell you, he started at the end of a long hallway. So at the end of a long hallway was him just standing there in all his gloriousness.
He was like,
And like
yeah, I'm
there's
a
this
Yugi.
long parallel of like the sky blue, and like these hands are coming through like this nylon, and they're like trying to reach through them. Very ominous of the video, right? And they're just trying to, go through the thing, and then he's steady rapping, he's going through looking real cool, as he's saying the lyrics, and then he just go. It was just visually.
It was an art piece.
It was not only good to hear, but it was very nice visually, and the combination of both just left you like.
You couldn't look away. Like,
You
and that
couldn't.
goes away. That goes for every single part of the concert. But
So everybody was going crazy about Jimin's quick change. You know the quick change they ain't talking about? Yoongi's.
Yeah, he had to, because at the end of his
Yoongi's.
performance, he had to.
He did a quick change from Shadow to Black Swan,
Mhm.
and oh my goodness, it was just as quick as
he
Jimin.
goes into
It was smoother.
this like crowd of backup dancers with the boys in it, which we found out later. And then
Yeah.
he comes out in all black. He was in all white before, and he just sprouts out in all black during this amazing little like music break real quick. And that was the cool thing too. Like watching so many of these costume changes on stage was insane. We're just watching the
Jimin's
video of it.
concert. We'll get to Jimin's concert change because that was magic.
Yeah, I think Yoongi's was magic too, honestly. Because, Jimin's concert, what made Jimin's quick change so magical was how quick it was. But to me, what made Yoongi's quick change so magical was not only how quick it was, but the transition.
Yeah.
Like,
And
he
his
went from
demeanor,
all
you mean?
white, like a jogging suit type outfit, to all black swan outfit.
Yes.
Like, it was.
That's similar to Jimin's, because Jimin had people come in front of him, and then as soon as they moved, he was in a completely different style.
It was pretty much the same style.
I think it was the
No,
same
it wasn't.
style.
It was pretty much
Well,
the same
Yoongi's
style.
went from like a hip hop style.
Yeah,
right,
to what, Black
No, that's not what I
Swan.
meant.
Yeah, but
I
that's
meant,
what she means.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
it's the color. So Jimin had
Yeah.
all
she
white
means
and
it.
then all
Yeah,
red.
but she means the style. Yoongi went from that hip hop style to the classical sleek.
Like the
saying
shirt was
that-
long and flowy,
Yeah.
and it had the accents of the silver around. Anyway, it was just
Yeah.
To keep it moving, then it really set the tone. Shadow really set the tone for Black Swan because
Yes.
they were doing the darker parts of the concerts. So then, after that costume change, and he was all set to go, he did his amazing the hook inside of Shadow, and then once it finished, they went immediately into Black
Black
Swan.
Swan.
Was Black Swan the part where Jimin did
Yes.
his? So
Yes,
at the
Jimin
end,
had a
Jimin did
solo
his
at the
solo
end.
and then
We gonna talk
transferred.
about
We're
that
gonna get there.
now.
We're
It's
gonna
your
get there.
question.
Yes,
Yeah.
but
It's a
yes,
question.
Yes,
to
yes.
answer your question. And then they went into Black Swan, and the set, which their sets were phenomenal, for everything.
Phenomenal.
And they were
Yeah.
underwater.
And it makes me wonder how were they gonna pull off some of this stuff on stage?
It's all
Live
because
or
of the technology. You can take it
that
anywhere.
the electric, how they made not so much the underwater part, like they were in an aquarium, like underwater
Yeah.
under the ocean,
Technology.
but how the lightning hit them, how it looked like the electricity,
They definitely
like electricity hit
had to
them.
have adapted a few things.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure. But
Yeah.
we'll never know.
Because it was still performed on stage.
Well, yes, but we'll never know like how exactly the things they would have changed. And you know what? This is why my theory is that they didn't allow it to replay because I think they're gonna make a whole movie out of it because they have a lot to talk about. They might have just wrap it all into this another
I would
movie.
buy that.
Gosh,
movie.
God, if they did that in a movie, then you definitely should go see. If you haven't seen any of the movies prior to this one,
Pandemic or not, just be safe,
you
be
need
cautious.
to
Yeah.
go see this one.
yeah.
But yeah, into Black Swan, and of course they performed it beautifully. But at the end, what happened?
Oh, me? RJ was whispering something in my ear. So Jimin, it was a transition. So Jimin took like a solo at the end of Black Swan, and his transition was a beautiful choreographed breakdown.
Interpretive
It was
dance.
interpretive dance, and I love his dancing, and he's always beautiful. But I've never seen
It's
him
captivating.
so beautiful than in this moment. This was
He
The
took
next
to
moment
it.
magnificent.
and the feeling.
So to give you an idea, so when Black Swan first came out, the artistic piece that was first in the installation of that from the dance group, the first music video from that dance group, and the way that classical dance from that dance group. To give you keep that in mind. That was what the type of dance he did. So we know he is classically trained, and we've all seen his classical dance. We've all seen that type of dance from him, but this was on a different level.
Yeah.
So for me, when I was trying to describe to one of our friends how this was so mind-blowing for me, it was a transition I watched go through our guys. I had in mind baby Jimin, for lack of a better phrase, or younger Jimin, and the Jimin we saw, say, in Blood, Sweat, and Tears, that type of dance and the solo dance he had there, to the Jimin I watched when they literally at the end of Black Swan and the lights went down. We didn't notice day one, but day two, we actually noticed hands at his feet. I don't know who, I still don't know.
It was one of the boys.
Yeah, it was one of the boys, or maybe even two of them, one on one side, one on the other. They actually were taking off his shoes, because as they performed Black Swan as a group, they all had shoes on. They did not do the shoeless this time. But at the end, when the lights went down and Jimin was going to transition into that solo dance of his, they were taking off his shoes. He didn't move, but they took off his shoes, and then they split off. And that's when he went into his dance, and he did it barefoot.
And he was the transition into
and
the
he
VCR.
transitioned into that dance, and it was
magical.
It was magical. We held our breath as we watched him transition into that, and it was that type of dance that it put us in the mind of that first Black Swan music video we saw from that dance group.
They literally had light at his feet.
And
like his feet were like lit up.
As he danced, the stage lighting hit his feet like electricity.
Like he was dancing on light.
Were electric.
Speaking of the electricity, they also did that same light effect for Black Swan, where it made it look like they were being lit up with electricity.
With electricity was pulsing through their body, shooting through their body.
So this was the most integrated concert I've ever seen with technology. I mean, they really utilized technology in almost every aspect of this concert, and just really made it out of this world. Things, I'm telling you, their concerts have already been next level anyway, but this concert was next level.
They really took advantage of the fact that they were completely indoors, and so they had way more liberty to be using technological
and with
effects.
no outside forces, to be honest.
Exactly.
Like, because Army was
some of
they
the
were able
4D
to use that space.
effects, we knew that some of the 4D effects wasn't happening to them in real time, but then they took advantage of the fact that we were viewing it from home, that they could add those effects to
That's what made me think, how much of all of that were they planning on doing touring? World touring.
That is a question.
Yeah. How much of that were they planning on doing world
we should
touring?
keep moving because there's a
Who
lot
was
of
after Jimin?
So Namjoon, let's move on to Namjoon.
Oh my! Whoa! My!
Oh my God! Talk about in relation to the actual video.
Yes. So remember the persona. Picture it. Persona.
Persona.
So he did that. I mean, stage presence, just like the video. Picture that video, and that's if you've seen the highlights, you know exactly where I'm going with this. However,
y'all weren't ready.
this man. So I have a theory. So for me, because Rap Mom for me, and I know he is RM at this point, but for me, Rap Mom is what I grew up with, and I think that persona of Rap Mom and that persona of RM, for me, I just feel like there has been an inner turmoil for him, or at least for me, that he has been trying to bring the two together, the two personalities together, or the two styles together. And not so much with day one, but with day two, what I saw, that performance on that stage, and again, just like with Yoongi, by day two, I felt that mojo kick in just a bit more, and he was quite more comfortable on the stage, and it shone through that performance. And when I watched it in his eyes, and I watched it in his performance, and I watched it as he went on with that performance and he was more comfortable, I saw that persona of Rapmon, and I saw that performance of that persona of RM come together in that performance of persona on stage, and it just blew me away. And it was like he found his element that he's been trying to find in that solo performance on stage. I've always loved his solo performances on stage, but there was always an element of uncomfortableness to me. There was always an element of uncomfortableness there. But on day two, when he did persona, and he was spitting fire, literally, guys, because he comes up on a podium with the podium, and like the president, just like oh, excuse me.
Good Lord.
But anyway, that was my takeaway. When he was spitting fire on stage, and I'm gonna let her take that part, I saw that comfortableness come through for the first time ever.
Yeah, he looked
But
good.
no, I'm not gonna say for the first time ever, because if you go way back and you look at those old videos of Rap Monster spitting fire on stage, underground, you saw that in his eyes.
So it seems
you
like
saw that in his
when
performance.
he spits fire, that is when he has the combination of balance between the two.
But that comfortableness I saw years ago, when he was spitting fire on stage. You're sweating, and I'm not talking about when he was with the rap line. I'm talking about him spitting fire years ago. I'm talking about scratchy footage that you would have to dig up. That comfortableness I saw it again on day 2, and I loved it, and it brought tears to my eyes. It truly did.
Marco?
Yeah, because let me tell you, we always call him our president, but he literally looked like that. Like he literally was standing at the top of this tall podium, spitting. And then all of a sudden he just throws the mic, and that sucker turns
Actually, it
into
was a separate mic, remember?
Oh, it came down. And then he threw that sucker, and that mug turned into fire. He was spitting fire.
Oh my
It was just the amount of
He is our president.
the amount of what's what I'm looking for. The amount of detail.
That went into this.
Attention to detail.
Thank you. The amount of attention to detail was ridiculous
Yeah.
in that. And then when he comes off the podium, and you know in the video he has those I don't know what they are. And then in the actual performance he had them as
The
well.
faceless men that mimic every move.
And it was so cool because they weren't just background dancers. They were actually like mimicking everything he
Right.
did. If he went like this,
They were shadowing.
they
Like
were
in the
doing like
video.
this.
And also in the video, don't forget the giant number.
Yeah, I don't think any highlight video shows that huge monstrous thing.
Yeah.
There was a
yeah,
big,
yeah.
the big 4D version of Namjoon that was in
In the road.
video.
The video?
They integrated it into the
It was
performance.
in the concert. Like, dude was like a giant, and he came down and he looked at RM like this.
It didn't even look like a hologram, y'all.
Yeah,
It
and I don't
did.
think any of the highlights actually show that, but it just blew our mind when we saw
We
that
were
in the
like,
concert.
what
It was
the?
like,
Probably Jimin. That's
Jimin.
Jimin. So Jimin. I knew Filter was gonna be something
Yeah, I'll do it.
Latin
Yeah.
based and I don't want to necessarily say sexual. It was very
Sensual.
smooth.
Sultry.
It had a mixture of
Sultry.
Prince and Michael through and through,
For
but
sure.
Jimin made it his own.
For sure. For sure.
Because it's
So
his.
glorious.
It's his, yeah.
He's a high quality performer.
He brought his song to a new level. It was so
He did.
incredible.
And
So
he was
suave.
really enjoying it.
Suave is the word
Suave
I was
is the
looking
word.
for.
There you go.
So suave.
If you could mix suave and
Right.
swag together, what would you get?
Jimin.
Jimin.
Jimin. Literally Jimin.
So there you go.
Jimin.
All right. So
It was a
yeah, I
glorious
mean, it was absolutely beautiful. The color changes, the quick change, which everybody was
Yeah.
just going on and on about.
There's even a meme on it that says scientists all around the world are trying to figure out how he did that costume change.
Yeah.
Exactly,
But-
because that was a full body one, and there wasn't really a pause. There wasn't like a true pause like in
Well, I thought
Yugi.
somebody said it was edited.
You said that.
Did I say it?
Yes, you are the
I said
somebody.
it was edited, but no, because I saw somebody said that it was edited.
Oh.
That's how they were able to make the quick change. It wasn't done like live.
It
Yeah, but
sure,
I
even
think-
if it was, it sure looked like it wasn't.
Yeah, but I think we determined that it was live because as we watched the highlights, thank you, Army, we're going to call it highlights, we saw clothes flying off.
I think that was purposeful.
Regardless,
That's purposeful
it was a
to show us-
magnificent
to show a quick
yeah.
change. So the whole performance was amazing, and then that quick change baffled us. And then he continued on with. So okay, you know how when you watch a concert or something, you like, I wish this was in slow motion. Jimin literally, physically made himself move in slow motion in the moments that you would want him to move in slow motion.
Yes, yes.
It was one of those body roll, hip switching thingies, and
We're
he
gonna call
went in
it that.
slow motion.
He knew the parts you would have paused and rewind.
And he made it go
And he
slow.
said, "Let me just do that for you."
It was a magnificent thing. He was.
And I don't remember whether he went before or after Jungkook, but their
He went
performances
after.
were
We
right
remember
next to
that.
each
It
other.
was really hard to
Remember.
switch from Cookie to Jimin. So Cookie, Sarah.
Are we through
Go
with
ahead.
Jimin?
I'm never through with Jimmy. I'm never through with Jimmy.
My point is, he said himself that he didn't think he did well the first day.
Oh my god.
I don't know what performance he was looking at, but from
Not the one we saw.
from the couch in our house.
Yeah, nobody was on the couch. let me start
That's
there.
true. My point is, from our wonderful living room, he looked absolutely flawless. So stop
Yeah.
beating yourself up. You did a fantastical job.
Yeah, not only that, you took us through an artistic performance that we just are just so grateful for. We're just so grateful for. We love it when you all take the stage individually.
Absolutely.
And you tease and please us. That was just phenomenal.
Tease
We-
and please. Yes. You said that.
You did. That was just
In a
extremely.
PG, sort of PG way.
Thank you. That was just extremely pleasing. You did a wonderful job. We understand when you say things like, I could have done better, I'm going to perform for you better next time. But you always please us. Thank you.
Yeah, guys, we've seen the behind the scenes on your concerts and how hard you work when you come off that stage and how much pain and exhaustion you're in. And we do appreciate all the hard work and effort you put in, because I'm going to tell you, I don't know about any other armies, but at them concerts, we wish we had a team waiting for us when we got to.
Because we are exhausted
Because
after
we
concerts.
literally do not sit down the whole time you jumping, we jumping. Like the whole time you grooving, we grooving.
Now, I know we're on time constraints, and my cohorts here keep explaining that to me, but I do want to say this personally to Jimin. I see you evolving. I truly do. I see a Jimin emerging that I truly love. Whether or not you intend to, this is what I take away from that. I see a Jimin that is coming into his own, a Jimin that is becoming comfortable with himself, and that is not fearful to actually
It felt
put it
so
out
him.
there.
He felt
It
so
felt
him
you
and
felt so
felt
comfortable with it, and that you are just never minding everybody else and just doing you. And I love that. I love the fact that you're putting it all out there, and it is coming across beautifully. Continue, brother. Continue.
Sarah and then Cookie was before Jimin actually.
Okay, so we did a little bit of a mini bang before these videos so that we could kind of just get the concert back fresh in our mind. And
It was
I'll tell
almost a
you,
mistake.
I was literally so stunned again. I could barely set this back up. Like, it's back up and rolling for this video, okay? First of all, we had no idea that his performance was going to be this sensual.
No, we had a small idea.
A tiny
Hold on,
idea.
let me set this up real quick.
I didn't have an
So
idea.
the first day of the concert, we some of us had to work. It was a work day for us, and we tried to stay away from social media and not see everything that was
I was
put
the only
out
one
there.
who went in blind.
Okay, so there were some things. This one, I don't know. She really tipped the boat. She was like, "Forget this. I'm just looking, you know."
Hell yeah.
However,
I got time for surprises.
I was at work and I saw a couple of things and I thought they were safe articles. You know.
No, articles are not
Articles
safe.
are not safe.
Articles are
So
not
as
safe.
I'm reading the article, there comes a huge picture of Cookie with, you know, his attire, and I was like, ooh, scroll past. But I knew I had a small warning. So we immediately, she was like, don't go on social media at all. And then I accidentally
Because
did.
I made the mistake first. As soon as I saw that there was a cookie thingy, a moving cookie thingy in an article, and I was like, okay, I'm rewatching this. I shouldn't watch this. I'm rewatching this. I shouldn't watch this. Let me tell the girls, don't look at social media.
So either way, we literally warned her. So we warned her, and then we warned her again as we watched, and then when we realized it was Cookie's turn up, here he comes to the plate. So picture it. When we bang, Sarah is always the one, literally
Sitting down.
always in her seat. She's always in her seat. You've seen
Somehow.
us. We honestly are always at the TV. We're always up at the TV.
Sarah's the conservative one.
She's the conservative one, but she's always scrunched up in her seat.
And
I
squirreling
implode.
So she does. She implodes, and we're
implodes.
just we're all over the place.
But this time
So
she exploded.
this time we were like, Sarah, baby, you gotta get on up here. You gotta get on up to the TV. This is your man. Come on up. So she gets up to the TV and she's ready. And then she's standing right up there and she's like this on the TV. And then he comes up on the TV. And you ever seen a pimp get slapped down? I literally compared it to a pimp. And she slipped right between my hands and hit the ground. I said, baby, get up. You can't see him from down there.
But
There's so much more.
My soul left my body.
It did. Hobie style. Her soul. It left her body Hobie style. I said, baby, I literally said, baby, get up. You can't see him from down there. And I picked her up off the floor and had to hold her back up there.
My soul was like, I'm not gonna stay here for this.
So the progression of violence, the progression of the assault,
True violence.
the progression of the attack was unmistakable.
That
like-
costume day 2.
It was intentional. So Cookie, what I know for a fact, Stylist Nuna gave him clothes. Then Cookie
Stylist
took
Nuna
them
did.
home,
We not blaming
washed the
Stylist Nuna.
pants, so that they would fit perfectly, or he grew the pants off his skin, and then he cut the buttons off, or something happened, because Stylist Nuna didn't give him that outfit. He made that outfit.
Yeah.
I was saying earlier during our hockey discussion that that shirt, he took those buttons off. He cut them off.
Oh no, we figured it out. He had we mentioned this before. He ran into Namjoon and made Namjoon accidentally rip off his button. And
Yeah.
Namjoon was like,
Pop
"What did you
button.
make me do?"
And
then
Stylist
he was
Nuna
like,
didn't have time
"Oh,
to fix it
well,
before he had to get out there.
It just happened. I gotta go out like this. That evil man.
Yeah.
Evil bunny.
When I go to sleep at night, I am just plagued by an image of him moving his hand along his thigh and clenching his jaw. Because he literally knows where we're looking. But I'm going to go on this forever. We can move on.
Yeah, okay, so
We have to end
no. First, so they hit us doubly with Cookie and Jimin, and then we go into the
There's
innocent
no break.
realm of V
V.
and Jin, who were beautiful, adorable, and innocent.
We were
It was-
blind.
It was so hard to
let me
see.
concert people who put this set together, because it's called a set.
That's backwards.
Yeah, you can't do that set.
You put
like
it
that.
backwards,
Like
y'all.
you should have put Jin
Flip it.
and then V
Flip it.
and then Jimin and Jungkook.
Because after those, it's like we can't see.
And
I
they
hear
did
Jin,
so
but
well.
I can't see him.
They did so well, but it was so. Thankfully,
It
we
was
had
so hard.
2 days. We did the second day because
Yeah.
the first day was so hard to see,
Yeah.
literally clearly. But the
Yes.
second day,
Yeah.
Sarah and I, when we saw Jin, we
The
realized
little
on that set
foxes.
list.
When
Yeah.
the little foxes came out,
and the planets and the rose. There was
we
a
literally,
flower.
we didn't speak at first. As soon as we saw it, I look at Zoe, and Zoe looks at me, and she's like, and I'm like, the little prince!
Jin was the little prince.
Which is perfect! The little prince and the moon and the oh my god, it's genius.
I just
Yeah.
love Moon. I didn't know the little
They
prince
made
was.
it
I
the
was just.
theme
It was
of
just all
Little
beautiful
Prince.
for me.
Yeah, it was awesome.
And
he
he-
did so well.
He got the stage he deserved. It was
He
the
did.
whole
Oh,
world
he
with
did.
all of the planets all around him.
and he hugged Army.
He kissed and
All
hugged
the
Army.
world.
Well, because day one he couldn't quite reach us. Day one he was trying to reach the earth, but then the second day they lowered it a little.
He was
lower
able to
for him.
hug
He was
us.
able to
And
hug us.
then,
Oh my
And then my baby. Oh my God, that cute little.
Yeah, his mini me. His
Oh
mini me.
wow.
He was so handsome. He was a
Oh, my
handsome little boy.
goodness.
He
Big
did
ups
very
to
well.
Mini Tay. Oh
And
Great
my
job.
Tay
goodness.
sent him a gift.
A big
Yes,
giant
y'all
teddy
didn't
bear.
see
He
that.
teddy bear.
He did.
They looked exactly alike.
Yes. he
They
did.
looked exactly alike. It was so
And he
cute.
named it Tay Tay.
Yeah.
And this whole merry-go-round thing was so perfect. Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't, like, the whole set wasn't as extravagant as some of the other stages, but that merry-go-round and the child and Tay singing on that, like, made such a statement.
That was
Like,
beautiful.
for the
I
song.
can't remember if it was
Perfect.
night one or night two that he got a little emotional.
I think it was day 2.
Right.
V did get emotional with it. It was beautiful.
It was.
It was beautiful.
And then
and to hear all of Army singing with him, and we were singing with them. Even those
That's a great
guys,
thing.
even those that you could not see, and I'm talking to my brothers, my 7 brothers. Even those of us that you could not see virtually,
We
that
were
you did not see,
there.
we were there. We were shouting, we were yelling, we were clapping, we were bang-tanging, we were in concert mode, guys. When you guys did the medley, when you did all of that, when you were just on it, we
it
were
felt
in
like a real
concert mode
concert.
with you. We were screaming and clapping, and V, when you were singing, we were singing with you.
That's something that had the biggest impact for me. That I truly, the format of the whole thing was like a concert. They didn't talk as much as they would have had it been a Bang Bang Con. They talked as much as they would have had it been an actual live concert.
Yeah.
And I could see it on them, especially on day 2. They felt what we were giving them. They were able to feel us for the first time in so long. So it felt like a concert to them as well. And I greatly appreciated that. And I know that they needed it.
They did. But we want to talk about the final solo performance.
Oh.
Hobie. Now that was just sunshine. That was happiness in a bottle. That was purification. That healed us. So Cookie and Jimin, they broke us down. They destroyed us.
Right.
And then Hobie lifted us back up, healed us with that breakdown. He was so cute.
Oh my goodness. He started off in like this huge,
The classic car.
The classic car.
Convertible.
To the classic.
Oh, he always takes
He
it
always
there.
takes it
Oh
back.
my gosh.
I mean, I was in it to win his little dance breakdown.
Yeah.
Oh, and then I loved it whenever the boys came on and danced with him. And my baby got in the screen and shook his tushy.
It's just one of those songs that you like get into that groove. You can tell they were like still really into it, but by the time it turns off.
He always takes us back. He always takes us
We
to the
can't
street.
forget. Remember, I don't remember which song it was exactly, but we thought it was the cameraman who was doing that.
Oh,
When
yeah.
it was
Right.
really Cookie who took the camera from the cameraman.
When they were performing in the little room with all of ARMY around them, and they were just messing around, and they were like spinning the camera.
What song was that?
I don't know.
But it
It was
was
not
one of the songs.
Microcosmos. Was it?
It was an upbeat song.
Yeah,
That
maybe
was-
I'm on mine or something. It was
It might have been
closer
part
to
of their
the
medley.
end. Yeah. it may
But
be
Cookie
closer to
took
the
one
end.
of the cameraman's cameras and started to do this. If you see it or you watched it, you could see the camera doing this. And we was giving mad credit to the cameraman, but it was Cookie.
literally Cookie.
Because
Who
they
was
were
the
singing it to the
cameraman?
camera and they were doing like this and the camera was doing like that. We were like,
Jungkook was
"Oh,
immediately like, I'm not gonna make you do that.
Yeah.
I'll do
But
it.
the
But he
cameraman
did
was
do it after.
smart to just give him the camera.
Yeah, and then when we saw the behind the scenes, we saw that it was Cookie that actually took the camera from the camera, or asked for the camera and got the camera from the cameraman and
It was a good
started doing it like
experience.
that, and then gave it back to the cameraman, and then the camera went right in sync with them and started doing it also.
I want to mention real quick that they did for their encore song, "We Are Bulletproof," the Eternal, and that was very emotional. I
Yes.
can imagine.
Wait,
But they didn't do that both nights. They did.
They did.
They had, what was it? Was it that song where they had ARMY images floating around them?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was,
Yes,
We
so
Are
like on
Bulletproof.
picture boxes, they had picture boxes hanging all over the place, and then it was live ARMY images, virtual armies hanging from the picture boxes, and that was amazing, guys. This whole virtual concert was just mind blowing and incredible.
I felt
It
so
was-
The
amazing.
attention to detail
The
was
staff, the crew, the coordinators,
Yes,
the
wow.
managers,
You
all
could
of you.
everybody.
see
You guys
how
did
much
a
work
phenomenal job.
every single piece of that staff put in.
Yes,
Yeah.
You know,
they
not just
did
the
it.
boys. Everybody
Yes.
was doing their absolute
Big
best.
ups to the staff, to the coordinators, to the producers,
To the tech
editors,
people.
to the tech
Yes,
people,
the tech
everybody
people.
behind the scenes.
Anyone who
Thank
thought of
you
this.
so much. And you know, we mentioned this when we talked about it, even at concert weekend. There is so much that is always said about how much we spend, how much ARMY spends. We're always broke. Every ARMY is broke. We are broke. We are broke for bills.
This is
we're
how
broke for
poor
this.
stay
We're broke.
poor.
So we're always broke. However, we mentioned it that weekend. We said, but this is where our money goes, guys. It
Yeah.
comes right back to us.
Right.
We get stuff like Bang Bang Con, and we get stuff like the On concert, which is what we need. Oh my gosh, we needed that so bad.
We
Oh
did.
my
We
God.
did.
That was
we needed
such
as much as they needed it.
Exactly, and I think this was really cathartic for them because this was definitely cathartic for us. They
Oh,
needed it, and they talked about needing it, and we needed it so badly. Dynamite was great, and I understood what they meant by putting out Dynamite, and they wanted a song that was uplifting and would help to heal the world. However, ARMY needed this. ARMY needed
ARMY needed
We
this.
needed
that
this. Oh
concert.
my goodness! And if you just got it through the highlights, you felt what you needed, and you got what you needed from that. Thank you guys. Thank you everybody that had a hand in putting this together.
Thank you
Absolutely.
so much. From the
Yes,
bottom of our hearts.
Thank you so
truly.
much. We got from this what you intended. The world tour that we missed out on, or excuse me, we did not miss. We had to postpone it. That world tour until you gave it to us virtually, and then when we move on to 2021, we hope to see you. We will hope to see you guys again
Absolutely.
with the actual next tour that we're going to be getting from B. Yay!
Yay!
That we will be
Right.
anticipating
'Cause we
coming
need to
up.
talk about that
So
too.
let's go around the table and do our takeaways.
All right.
My takeaway from these performances, the virtual concert, is I watched all of you guys give us the parts of you. The men on stage that I saw was a pleasure to see my men perform, my 7 brothers perform. I saw the men that I was waiting to see, and all of those individual performances and those group performances. Thank you so much. Thank you.
My takeaway I can't do without RJ telling me what to say.
So we'll skip her. My takeaway is that
Exactly.
I love BTS. I love J-Hope and Jimin and Jungkook and V and Suga and RM. And am I missing somebody? Jin. And I just
sitting right there.
I love all the members,
She
and
won't
I
come
just
back.
want you guys to know that we have seen the progression over the years, and we have seen you grow and develop into the beautiful men that you are now. Namjoon, loving that buff up, bro. Loving the buff up.
Wow, now
Feeling out
Loving the
everything.
melanin. It's popping.
You are looking like.
You were looking like the man we
PG.
knew.
Hey. This is my takeaway.
We are looking. I mean, you
It's
you're
my
looking like the
takeaway.
man we knew
Continue.
you would be.
And then I agree with Bawana. Jimin, you have truly come into your own, and you have embraced yourself for who and what you are, and we appreciate that. So stay positive, man. Stay positive. And J-Hope, you're a hope. My hope.
She a J-Hope stan.
I want to one day be able to dance with you. Can we? Anyway, my takeaway is that you guys did an awesome job, and I'm excited to see what comes next.
My main takeaway is just the fact that we needed this concert and they needed this concert, and it felt like a legitimate concert.
We did.
It didn't even feel virtual. It felt like we were actually there, and it felt like they could actually feel our energies, and that's why they were so hyped and pumped. I love the fact that there were no glitches as far as I could tell in what we experienced, and that they were able to see ARMY. They needed that. They desperately needed to
They
see
love
us.
that, and I love that
So,
for them.
I'm very happy
Yeah.
that they were able to experience that. Although they couldn't see my face, they still saw the face of ARMY.
Army, absolutely.
And
that
that was
was us.
much needed, much deserved,
That was
and it
us.
felt like an actual concert. It was the best concert I've
Jimmy
ever
broke
had.
down on day one. That was really hard to take.
Sarah?
My takeaway is, and we've seen this in a lot of ways over the years, but I really was reminded of this with this concert. I truly feel like they do listen to us, because you could really see they always respond to like things that we say or things that we want. I truly always feel like there is a true dialogue going between BTS and ARMY, and I was reminded of that with this concert and just in everything that he did, and how I truly felt like it was a concert between BTS and ARMY. And I was really grateful for the timing of it too, because I remember we filmed a podcast on this about BTS on the US stage. We did have concerns about not necessarily BTS, but possibly their team, possibly their company being a little out of sync with ARMY.
Around the world.
We were feeling a lot of things with the whole Dynamite thing going on, even though again we fully 100% support it. And I feel like this came at a great time just to reassure us and just remind us, like have faith, like BTS understands us. They're always listening to us
And paying attention to our needs.
and paying attention to our
absolutely.
needs. Right. But yeah, that was my main takeaway. Also, that I don't know if I can keep being a Jungkook stan.
for health reasons.
For health reasons.
If nothing else.
Y'all saw me after
Yeah.
we just saw this clip that's
Yeah, this was just a little. This was just
I
a little
had
pep.
breathing problems.
Yes, breathing.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Life. It left your soul. Your soul left. Yeah.
I've never experienced that before.
An intervention you may need.
Army, thank you for joining us today on part 2.
Thank you, and please give us your feedback.
Yeah, absolutely.
Please give us
Please
your
give us your thoughts
experiences.
on this beautiful concert.
Absolutely. And don't forget to, as always, to like
And subscribe.
and subscribe.
And hit that notification bell.
Hit that notification bell
'Cause
so
we
you
working
can
hard for
yeah,
you.
so you can stay in tune with
We're working
everything
hard.
that we're going to be putting out there for you consistently.
Absolutely.
And it is a pleasure again to see you guys.
And of course, it will really help us if you have any suggestions for what you want to see from us.
Or what you
Put that
want us to
below.
talk about. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we've got lots of content, lots of ideas, and lots of things we're going to keep shooting your way. So if you got stuff you want to hear that we're not putting out there, by all means, notify us
Absolutely.
about it.
Yep.
But yeah, we're going to continue on with our day, but thank you for tuning in, and
Hana Tul Set.
Now you know, Army.
bye-bye.
Mwah.